Us would go to Kpone now and join the Volta River Authority as they tour one of your thermal plants in that area. My colleague Adelaide Arthur is there for us. Let's listen to her quickly.
Okay. And so that 110 megawatts is what we call ISO. So under International Standard Organization's environment, you have 110. Or that is how the machine is tested in a factory. But when you come to the real site conditions, the ambient conditions are different. So that's what explains the difference between what we call the installed capacity, 110, and what you actually get. So on the average, we should be getting not less than 100 megawatts from this, from each unit. So in all, from the two units, you should be talking about 200 megawatts at least. Yes.
Can we? We are talking. We are also talking. Currently, how close are you to? Oh,
project by October 2012, and contractually we're supposed to have finished by the end of this month, that is September 2014. However, due to financial challenges, which I explained earlier on, we lost some time, and so we have contractually added about 4 more months to the contractor. So that is what is taking us to January next year, 2015, to finish everything. So all things being equal, you know, we are hopeful to keep within this timeline, even though we had lost some additional time. But today, as I'm speaking to you, our timeline is to finish the first unit or commission the first unit December 2014, and then the second unit January 2015, and then declare commercial operation first quarter 2015.
And you have all your finances sorted out such that you are ready to go any moment?
We still have about 57 million to spend before we get to the end of the project. We are currently funding the project from a bridge finance that VRA took from Fidelity Bank. Fidelity has been contracted to be a lead fund arranger for VRA, and they have syndicated a loan which we are hoping will be, the loan agreement will be signed this month. That is, the financial closure will be reached this month, and that will allow us to be able to have a constant flow of funds to complete the project. Meanwhile, the bridge financing is still in place, so the invoices currently are being paid from that source.
Looks like this, after the project, this is not going to be the end for you. You have future plans for this plant. What are they?
All right, the site for this project is 75 acres, including the buffer around us. And we have plans to expand this project in phases. Now, what we are doing now is what we call phase 1, stage 1. Now, the stage 2 of phase 1 will be to combine cycle what we have now into a combined cycle plant by adding a steam component. That will give us additional 50% of the installed capacity now. So it will transform what we have now from 220 megawatts to 330 megawatts when we do the stage 2 of phase 1. Then the phase 2 is to add a complete new block of combined cycle plant of approximately 450 megawatts, and that will give us a total installed capacity on this site. It will take it to about 780 megawatts approximately. So we are looking at 2018, 2019 thereabout to complete the full development of this project, of this site. Yeah.
So this is wholly government owned, and which contractors are you working with here?
All right, the EPC contractor is called Zakem Construction Ghana Limited. The mother company is a UK company, but they have a subsidiary in Ghana which is doing the work, is doing the EPC work. The equipment were supplied by Alstom Switzerland, and Zachem is installing the equipment and also providing the balance of plant. So basically, the funding of this project, the equipment were bought by government, and in 2012 was handed over to VRA. VRA is looking for the rest of the funds to complete it. So in that case,
power generation, and well, the Association of Ghana Industry says its members will have to brace up for increased production costs as the ongoing load shedding is set to intensify. Already, many industries are relying on generators to operate, which has increased cost of production. The Electricity Company of Ghana has been forced to shed a record estimated 500 megawatts of electricity. I spoke earlier with President of the Association of Ghana Industries, James Asareje.
Actually, it's a challenge. It's a difficult thing for industry at this point in time, and we the situation haven't gotten here. But however, what we have been asking for, particularly AGI, have been asking for is if we have no option than to go through this load shedding exercise once again. We have been calling on ECG and VRA to try and give a special dispensation to industry by isolating particularly zones where especially in manufacturing, can be located, and then are given to such manufacturing concerns to be able to operate. Let us understand that there are some operations that should be continuous. For example, if you are in the plastic industry, you can't start again. You lose a lot. You know, you have situations where on the production line, you have this plastic solidifying, and it's a huge cost in restarting. If you're a steel industry, there's a huge cost in restart operations. So we have these intermittent power outages, especially the unplanned ones. We lose a lot by way of restart operations, by way of other overhead costs. So we have been calling on ECG and VRA to do as much as possible to isolate areas where industrial setups are clearly marked, such that they are giving special dispensation to operate.
And so in planning contingencies, what is it that industry has put in place to protect itself?
You are right that really not recovered from the previous load shedding exercise that we went through. At this point in time, it is very difficult for us to know what to do as industry to be able to survive, especially when costs related to doing business in the country keeps on rising. The only thing we can say that as a country we need to plan, beyond the short-term approach of doing things, that we should look at the medium to long-term solution to this particular problem of energy supply, such that we will not always come in a cyclical form, always being faced or hit with this energy crisis.